When we think of mummies, our minds immediately go to the golden sands of Egypt, to Tutankhamun, Ramses the Great, and the towering pyramids of Giza. But what if I told you that 2,000 years before the first Egyptian pharaoh ever sat on a throne, a civilization on the other side of the world had already mastered the art of eternal preservation? Deep in the Atacama Desert of Chile and Peru, the driest place on Earth, archaeologists discovered the Chinchorro mummies. These aren't just old, they are ancient. Some date back over 7,000 years, making them the oldest man-made mummies on the planet. For decades, these black mummies remained a biological enigma. Because of their extreme age and the harsh environment, scientists believed their genetic code was lost to the winds of time. They thought the DNA had long since crumbled into dust. That is, until a team of elite geneticists used 2025-level genomic sequencing technology to do the impossible. They successfully extracted and tested 7,000-year-old mummy DNA, and what they found hidden inside those prehistoric genes has stunned the scientific community. It's not just about who these people were, it's about how they evolved to survive a literal poisoned paradise. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are unlocking the biological secrets of the world's oldest mummies. If you're ready to see how DNA is rewriting the history of human evolution, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive into the code. The Chinchorro mystery, the art of death. Before we get to the DNA, we have to talk about how these mummies were made, because it is unlike anything seen in Egypt. The Chinchorro people were simple hunter-gatherers and fishers, yet their burial rituals were incredibly complex. They didn't just wrap a body in linen, they literally reconstructed it. They would remove the skin, take out the organs, and replace the flesh with clay, sticks, and dried plants to give the body structure. Then, they would sew the skin back on and coat the face in a black or red manganese mask. Why go to such extreme lengths? For years, anthropologists believed it was purely religious. But as the DNA results started to trickle in, a new, more scientific theory began to emerge. Extracting DNA from a 7,000-year-old specimen is like trying to read a book that has been put through a paper shredder and then soaked in acid. The desert heat usually destroys the double helix structure of the DNA. However, the unique petrous bone, a tiny rock-hard part of the inner ear, acted as a time capsule. When researchers from the University of Chile and global partners finally cracked that bone open, they didn't just find fragments. They found a roadmap of human survival. The genetic adaptation to poison. So, what was the stunner? What could possibly be so shocking about the DNA of ancient fishers? The DNA revealed that the Chinchorro people were the first known humans in history to undergo a rapid genetic mutation to survive poison. The arsenic evolution. The Atacama Desert is rich in minerals, but that comes with a deadly price. The water in the Camerones Valley, where the Chinchorro lived, contains levels of arsenic over 100 times than what the World Health Organization deems safe. To a normal human, this water is lethal. It causes cancer, organ failure, and high rates of miscarriage. But when scientists analyzed the Chinchorro genome, they found a specific gene called AS3MT. This gene is responsible for processing arsenic and flushing it out of the system before it can kill the host. The DNA testing proved that 7,000 years ago, these people were already evolving. Their bodies were changing at a molecular level to tolerate a toxic environment. This is one of the most powerful examples of natural selection ever recorded in the human genome. It explains why they stayed in such a harsh place. They didn't just survive there, their DNA made them the superhumans of the desert. The migration puzzle. Where did they come from? But the stunning reveals didn't stop at poison resistance. The DNA also settled a massive debate about the origins of the first Americans. For a long time, it was assumed the Chinchorro had always been coastal people. But their mitochondrial DNA, the DNA passed down from mothers, revealed a shocking connection. They shared genetic markers with ancient populations from the Amazon basin. This means that 7,000 to 9,000 years ago, a group of brave explorers crossed the towering Andes Mountains, one of the most formidable barriers on Earth, to reach the Pacific coast. The DNA reveals a story of incredible human resilience. They moved from the lush, humid rainforests to the world's driest desert, and instead of dying out, they adapted. They invented the world's first mummification process to honor their dead, perhaps because the high rate of arsenic-induced infant mortality made preserving their children a psychological necessity. That's right, the DNA suggests that the black mummies weren't just a religious ritual. They were a response to a health crisis. The Chinchorro were trying to keep their loved ones alive in form, even as the poisoned water took them away. Why this matters for us today? You might be wondering, why does 7,000-year-old DNA matter to me in 2025? The answer is evolutionary medicine. By studying how the Chinchorro evolved the AS3MT gene, scientists are learning how to help modern populations who live in areas with high heavy metal contamination. We are using the biological software of people who died 7 millennia ago to develop new treatments for arsenic poisoning today. These mummies aren't just relics of the past. They are teachers for our future. Furthermore, the successful sequencing of such old DNA opens the door for other lost civilizations. If we can get a full genome from a 7,000-year-old Chinchorro fisher, what else can we find? Are we close to sequencing the DNA of the first humans who crossed the Bering Land Bridge, or the builders of Göbekli Tepe? The mummy's curse on genetic science has officially been broken. The legacy of the Atacama. The story of the Chinchorro mummies is a testament to the power of the human spirit and the power of our DNA. For 7,000 years, they lay silent in the sand, their leathery skin and clay masks hiding a secret evolution. They survived poison, they crossed mountains, and they created a culture of remembrance that predates every major civilization we study in school. They weren't primitive. They were masters of their environment, and their genetic legacy still lives on in the people of Chile and Peru today. What do you think is the most shocking part of this discovery? Is it the fact that they are older than the Egyptians, or the idea that humans can evolve to drink poison? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your theories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient genomics, please hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that this kind of history matters. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the DNA of our ancestors. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep questioning the past. I'll see you in the next video.